Good evening. Today is Thursday, December 19th. We are at 6:33 p.m. Brian, can we get roll call, please?
Mr. Grippo. Dr. Hopkins.
Present.
Ms. Inocencio. Mr. Jackson.
Present.
Ms. LaCourte. Ms. Maris. Mr. Parker. Mr. Shaban. Here. Ms. Singh.
Here. And can you also read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Sunshine Law, copies of the public meeting notice were sent to the Courier News, the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Franklin Reporter, Tap into Franklin Township, Franklin Township Clerk, Manager, District Schools, Offices and Associations, PTO Presidents, and posted on the district website.
Thank you. For the record, Ms. Inocencio, Ms. LaCourte, and Mr. Parker will not be at the board meeting tonight, so it's just the six of us that you have the pleasure of seeing tonight. Can I get a motion to move into confidential session, please? Moved by Sammy, seconded by Dennis. All in favor? Thank you. So there is a motion to adjourn to confidential session for the purpose of discussing confidential matters, including a pupil personnel matter. Minutes of the confidential session will be made public when the reason for confidentiality no longer exists. We'll be back. Good evening, everyone. It's still December 19th, Thursday, and we're at 7:34 p.m. We just came back from confidential session. Minutes of the confidential session will be made public when the reason for confidentiality no longer exists. Can I request Dr. Hopkins to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance? So if you're able to, please stand and join us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Sammy, can you lead us with, can you state the mission statement?
Franklin Township Public School embraces its diversity, fosters excellent educational innovation, and empowers all students to achieve their highest potential.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to move the agenda with a little correction on B3, Section 7, where the amount should be 21,111. Moved by Sammy, seconded by? Seconded by Bill. All in favor? Thank you. The agenda is adopted. We don't have a student here to do the student report, so we'll move on to our presentation. So Mary, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Tonight we have two of our students who recently let us know of their success in the field of STEM. This fall, our first student presented a research paper at the 2024 MIT Undergraduate Research Technology Conference, or URTC. MIT URTC is an internationally renowned research conference for undergraduates and by undergraduates. Their annual conference is themed around incredible breakthroughs in engineering and technology research made by student researchers at the undergraduate level all over the country. This student's work was recognized as one of the top 5 papers submitted to the conference. We are proud to say it will be published by IEEE, an esteemed journal in the field. To introduce Gia Patel and the staff members who helped to make this opportunity happen, I would like to ask Dr. Lagren to come up and say a few words. After Ms. Patel speaks, I would also ask her to greet the board and pose for a photo. I'm going to lower the lights a little.
Well, I think Ms. Clark did such a great introduction there. Kind of was exactly what I was hoping to say. But that was so well done, Ms. Clark. But actually, So it's rare we get an opportunity to brag a little bit, and I think Gia's accomplishment here is certainly Gia's. I don't want to, that's an incredible thing that she presented, a paper that has this title, Computational Fluid Dynamics Analysis and Modeling of SpaceX's Starship and Raptor engines. Wow. So she obviously should be extremely, extremely proud of that. And she has news that I'm not going to break that I'm hoping she'll share with you about her college search. But I did also want to take a moment before we hear from Gia to acknowledge sort of the village, right? It takes a village to raise a child. And we have sort of the important folks in the village of STEM education here with us tonight. Namely, I've asked Mr. Eric Siegel if he could just stand up for a minute. He's our science supervisor, K-12. And we have Miss Nubija Allen, who's our secondary math supervisor. And we also have Dr. Wendy Bordeaux, who's a school counselor at Franklin High School, right there. And if I could take a second just to say, they really came together. Dr. Bordeaux had a conversation with Gia, wasn't sure if we could, figure out some resources to help with the application to participate in the conference. She reached out to Mr. Siegel, who spoke with me and with Mr. Bonanno about it. And of course, this is a mathematics science paper. And we know that our math supervisor has worked so hard to push all of us, to push our students. So this is really something we're all so proud about. So I want to, with no further ado, I do want to bring up Ms. Patel. And of course, after she goes, if any of the other folks feel like saying something, that's also fine. But Gia, if you come on up here, we'd love to hear from you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gia Patel, and I'm a senior at the high school. This past October, I got the chance to present my research in computational fluid dynamics analysis and modeling of SpaceX's Starship and Raptor engines at the 2024 MIT Undergraduate Research Technology Conference. I'd like to thank the Department of Science and Math for helping me get this opportunity. And I conducted this research this past summer at the prestigious New Jersey Governor's School of Engineering and Technology. So over 4 weeks, I learned how to use advanced computational softwares such as SolidWorks and ANSYS Fluid to fully analyze the structure and efficiency of this SpaceX rocket and its engines. We then submitted our research to the Undergraduate Research Technology Conference and were accepted to present at the conference. I was able to hear from a bunch of different undergraduate researchers from colleges like Caltech, NYU, Cornell, and MIT. And we were competing against 154 other undergraduate research papers, and we were honored to have our paper recognized as one of the top 5 best papers presented at the conference. Thank you. Later this year, the paper will be published by IEEE, which is the largest technical professional organization for advancing technology for humanity. So I would love to thank Dr. Bordeaux, Dr. Siegel, and all of you guys who helped me gain this opportunity through the Governor's School and through attending this conference. And I'd also like to announce that I'm officially committed to the University of Pennsylvania, the Management and Technology Program, or the Jerome Fisher Scholars Program, as of 7 p.m. this day. So, but I'd really like to thank you guys for everything that you've helped me with through my journey in Franklin Township. So thank you.
Yeah, one more.
Okay. Our next student, I'm sorry. Our next student is Charville Bourdet, an 8th grader at SGS. Principal Solomon brought Charville's story to our attention, and we have invited him to share with you tonight. Charville describes himself as an avid reader who has developed a keen interest in the origin of the universe. He has been inspired by Dr. Stephen Hawking and even visited Trinity Hall College in Cambridge, where Dr. Hawking earned his PhD. One day at his science lab at SGS, Charville came upon a picture of Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, renowned astrophysicist, author, and director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City. After doing some research, Charville was drawn to the simplicity and brevity of Dr. Tyson's explanations of physics concepts. Charville took it upon himself to seek an interview with Dr. Tyson, who graciously accepted. The two spoke for over 30 minutes about concepts I think it would be better if Charville explained. So I would like to ask Charville to come up and speak to us briefly about his meeting with Dr. Tyson. You just let me know when you get next slide, okay?
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to thank Ms. Solomon, my principal, Ms. Clark, and Ms. Francis, my English teacher, for making it possible for me to speak here today. And I recently met with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the most popular astrophysicists. I met him at the Museum of Natural History in New York City. We had a 30-minute long meeting scheduled, but this actually extended into a 1-hour-long conversation. And Dr. Tyson is simply a genius. He blends imagination with evidence and explains science in really easy to understand words. He has simplified science for people, and my dad has actually simplified life for me in a similar way. But can we make this a little more interesting rather than just a dry monologue of what happened in my meeting with Dr. Tyson? So let's suppose I'm meeting with somebody who's new to the United States. I want them to meet me at Times Square. So I would say to them, can you please meet me at Times Square? However, is this a good data point to tell someone who's new though? No, it's not. But what if I tell them to meet me at the intersection of 8th and 42nd Street in New York City? That's a better data point, but it's still not good enough. What if I tell them to meet me at the intersection of 8th and 42nd Street in New York City at the 50th floor of the building there? That's a better data point, but still, again, not good enough. But what if I tell them to meet me at the intersection of 8th and 42nd Street at the 50th floor of the building there in New York City at 11 a.m.? That's a great data point. But what did we just do here? We define the coordinates of all 4 dimensions, which are length, breadth, height, and time. Length, breadth, and height come together to form space, and if we add time to this, it creates what astrophysicists call the space-time fabric. Now make sure you remember this space-time fabric, as I'll come to it in a moment. So next, let's see what happens when matter comes in contact with this space-time fabric. So let's say a star planet is coming in contact with the space-time fabric. We can see here that it causes it to warp, and this warping is actually what causes gravity to happen because it makes smaller and lighter objects move in a circular path around the bigger and heavier one that's causing the warping. Gravity keeps our universe together. However, astrophysicists have demonstrated that there's not enough visible matter to account for all of the effects of gravity in the universe. So then what must be missing? This missing thing is called dark matter. And that's actually what leads me to my hypothesis, which I shared with Dr. Tyson. My hypothesis is that, and remember how we talked about the space-time fabric? My hypothesis is that if this space-time fabric is referred to as a fabric that can warp, expand because we know the universe is expanding, and possibly even rip, then doesn't it have the properties of matter? So shouldn't it contain mass and energy? So is this space-time fabric the source of dark matter and dark energy? Dr. Tyson gave a great explanation for this and said that we have top scientists working on it too. He also explained about quantum mechanics being one of the most successful theories there ever was. He said that quantum mechanics, and whenever it makes a prediction, we should really listen to it. One such prediction made by quantum mechanics is that in the vacuum of space, where there's no energy, there should be a fluctuation of energy in a place where there's no energy. And I know this might not make sense to you, but the universe is under no obligation to make sense to us. Well, that's why it's a frontier of science, and we have top scientists working on it. And I discussed many such topics with Dr. Tyson, including dark matter, dark energy, the Big Bang, singularity, Dr. Stephen Hawking, God, religion, and much more. And he was also really kind and gave me 2 of his books, autographed by him, and also gave us vouchers to explore the Museum of Natural History. It was a really enriching experience, and I got to learn a lot from it. Lastly, I would like to say a one-liner of my own, just like Dr. Tyson does. So the observable universe is 100 billion light years across. Out of this, we have only traveled to about 1 light second of it. The farthest man has been to is the moon, which is 200,000 miles away from Earth. And the speed of light is also 200,000 miles per second. Thus, the moon is 1 light second away from the Earth, and that's only the farthest we've been to. Thank you.
He's a McAfee Road School graduate, by the way.
Thank you, guys.
So that was incredible. I have a few words when my report comes, so hang on a little bit. We'll move on to our superintendent's report.
But I'm going to get my chance to give my words first.
Absolutely.
But before so, as per recent press release made by the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office, earlier this week, a now former district wrestling coach and staff member at Sampson G. Smith was arrested and charged. Although we're unable to discuss the specifics of the allegations against this individual, at this time it appears the allegations are not connected with school. Please take the time to read my letter posted on the district website dated December 18th regarding this matter. As far as tonight's presenters, on a happier note, I want to thank Gia and Cherville for presenting this evening. Both of them did an amazing job. I think we offer another round of applause to both of you. I also want to thank the teachers involved. I want to thank the parents. I want to thank the entire, as Dr. Logren described it, village that helped prepare not only the presentations, but prepared them for the events, for moving on to University of Penn, for having a great opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity, and someday folks will probably be writing you, asking you for interviews. That'd be my guess. Yeah, that's probably a fact. I want you to both know we're very proud, and I wish you both continued success. You truly do give us hope. You know, so often we read about the bad things in this world, and we don't celebrate enough of the good things. You two are evidence that there is hope, and that the future of our leaders and the next generation are really prepared to take over. And I know there are others like you, and I'm really proud that, you know, we had something to do with you moving on to the next level, because you are all going to make your mark. And we have others in that very same situation as well. And I know Maya's here somewhere. And, you know, Maya, too, was a promoter of one of our programs. She does well in her own right. And Maya, I will say, is probably the reason we have NJSIA volleyball in our high school, right? Because she did the work to make that happen. So the three of you are just a representative group of the larger community within our school district that make us proud. And it's the reason that we all, the educators here, do what we do every day. So thank you. Thank you for not only a great presentation, but really for being a role model that others really need to emulate. Winter break. After a full session of classes tomorrow, winter break begins. School starts up again on Thursday, January 2nd. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a healthy and happy holiday season. And that's it from us.
Thank you. So on to my report. We'll start with a moment of silence. Late last month, we were notified of the passing of former board member Eva Naj. Mrs. Naj served the staff and children of Franklin Township Public Schools as a member of the Board of Education from 1993 until 2014. During that period, she held the positions of Policy Committee Chair, Vice President, and President of the Board of Ed. She was also active in the Franklin Foundation for Educational Excellence and the Township Martin Luther King Day breakfast celebrations, as well as the regional and state New Jersey School Boards Associations. We appreciate her service and dedication to the district, and our thoughts and prayers go out to her family and friends. Also this week, we learned of the passing of Dorothy Cynthia Bartlett, an elementary school teacher in our district for over 30 years. Ms. Bartlett retired in 2002 and had served the children of our district at several schools, including Hillcrest, Pine Grove Manor, and McAfee Road School. Again, we remember her and send condolences to her family and friends. So please join me in a moment of silence for these two women who served the district well. Thank you. In other news, earlier this month, Sustainable Jersey for Schools announced their Sustainability Hero for the month of December. And it was our very own Kira Sikorsky, Franklin Township Public Schools Green Teams Coordinator. Ms. Sikorsky has been a teacher at Franklin Park School for 22 years and is also an alumna of our district. Her work as the Green Teams Coordinator has greatly contributed to our school's certification by Sustainable Jersey for Schools, as well as grants and other awards. Congratulations, Ms. Sikorsky. You make us very proud. So that calls for a round of applause. I also want to take this opportunity to thank my fellow board member and vice president of the board, Mr. Sammy Shaban, for his service on behalf of the students of Franklin Township. We will be recognizing you, Sammy, at our reorg meeting next month, but since this is your last official meeting, I want to say thank you. You have been instrumental in the board's current strategic plan as chair of that committee and with the board's work with the township on the FIS committee. Thank you again for your service. And finally, for Gia and Charville. On behalf of the board, I want to express our appreciation for the time and effort you dedicated to present today. Your thoughtful update truly highlight the amazing things happening at Franklin High. Your professionalism, your enthusiasm reflect the talent and dedication within our student body. Please know how much we look forward to and value your contributions. Thank you for being outstanding representatives of your school and our community. Keep up the great work. We are incredibly proud of you. And with that, we are on to comments from the public, 5 minutes per speaker, agenda items only. Can I get a motion to open for public comment?
Motion to open for public comment.
Okay, motion by Lori, seconded by Bill. All in favor? Okay, public comments is now open. If anyone would like to come to the podium, agenda items only.
Seeing no one, Madam President, I move to close the public session.
Okay, so Bill and Dennis said it together at the same time. So we'll have one say motion to close and put the other one's name as second. All in favor? Okay, thank you. And we're now on to committee and liaison reports. Lori, do you have a committee report, please? Can you begin with that?
I can. Good evening. Tuesday, December 17th at 6:38 p.m., the Finance Committee met. In attendance were myself, Lori Maris, Mr. Walter Jackson, Mrs. Ardaman Singh, Dr. John Ravalli, Mr. Brian Bonanno, and Mr. Stephen Freed. We went over financials and contracts. The committee reviewed the supplemental bills list for the month of December. The committee also reviewed the board secretary's report, treasurer's report, and transfer report for the month of November. Our charter school payments continue. The district paid $1,879,855 in tuition and $204,713 in transportation for the month of December. This brings the total charter school costs to $13,426,805 for the year to date, and $12,584,525 for transportation year to date. The meeting ended at 6:50 p.m.
Thank you. Dennis, do you have a report?
I have policy. The policy committee met on December 9th, 2024. Those who was present was myself, Erica Incisio, Dr. John Ravalli, and Alderman Singh, and Mary Clark. The committee meeting began at 7:18 p.m. The committee discussed a revised to a policy 5112, interest age, which speaks to the age and other requirements for admissions to the district programs and the grade levels. Current language requires that a child be toilet trained before entering the preschool program. The current preschool program grant prohibits the requirements, so the language of the policy was revised to say that a child seeking admission to the preschool program should be in the process of toilet training. Teachers provide support to families as they work with their children through the process. Since this was the last meeting of the current policy committee, members
were thanked for their service. The meeting ended at 7:28 p.m.
Thank you. Bill, safety?
Okay, we met on December 11th. It was myself, Erica, Jimmy, Atamon, Mr. Wilsons, Dr. Ravalli, and Dr. Solomon. The committee reviewed the November suspension and the November HIB reports. And Mr. Wilson informed the committee that as a whole, the district is on track to significantly reduce the number of incidences of student suspensions, and he pointed out a couple reasons why there's such an improvement. One is to continue teaching and reteaching of student performance and behavioral expectations through the PBIS framework. Second, training provided to our teachers, counselors, safety officers, and other support staff to address potential areas of conflict. And third, the overall resources available to support students who are in need of social and emotional support. A more detailed dive into this data will be presented to the board at its regular scheduled what they call Period 1 Student Safety Data System, and that's usually presented at the end of the year. Second, Mr. Wilson also informed the committee of the ongoing upcoming efforts of the district to revise the student de-escalation and student restraint protocols. And finally, the committee reviewed new student assistant coordinators in the winter newsletter, specific resources that will help students and family. And on a personal note, I want to thank Mr. Wilson for the years that I've served with him on the safety committee as he ventures off into retirement. He's been a great resource, working tirelessly for the safety and well-being of our students. Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Bill. Walter, can you do facilities, please?
Okay. The Facilities Committee met on December 17th. The meeting started at 6:05 p.m. In attendance were myself, Lori Maris, Artemis Singh, Dr. John Ravalli, Mr. Brian Bonanno, Mr. Stephen Fried, Mr. Mark McNamara, and Ms. Ryan Ellis. Updates. Change Order S. The committee reviewed and discussed 2 change orders for the Zoo Fall project. The change orders will appear on the board's December 19th agenda. Change order. Zoo Fall project change order 1 covers the cost of sewer application and replenishment of sewer escrow account for the total of $550 to be paid from the permit and testing allowance, leaving the balance of $14,450. Zoo Fall project order 2, credit of $23,293.44 for storm sewer layout change based on Franklin Township's recommendation. The credit is applied to the general contractor's allowance, increasing the allowance to $48,293.44. Zoo Fall project update. Dr. Valley updated the committee on the Zoo Fall project. The building is expected to be delivered late January. Dr. Valley updated the committee on agreement between Franklin Township and their use of the Warrior Health Center. The committee agreed to continue the agreement for 1 year under the current terms. Facility use. The committee discussed the facilities use requests that will appear on the board agenda today. Energy report. Mr. Ryan Ellis presented the committee with the status of the Claremont solar system. The meeting adjourned at 6:38 p.m.
Thank you. And can you also do personnel, please?
Personnel committee met on December 11th. Meeting started at 6:09 p.m. In attendance were myself as chair, Nancy LaCour was not present, Sammy Shaban, Artemis Singh, board president, Dr. John Ravalli, Brian Bonanno, Colleen Devlin, manager of human resource, was present as well. The personnel committee reviewed and discussed the following items. Personnel report for today, number 6, appointments include school counselor, 12th month secretary, paraprofessionals, substitute
custodian, substitute nurse, substitute food service worker, interim supervisor of secondary math, and interim school principal. Extracurricular stipend appointments included after-school clubs, tutoring, home instruction, and musicals. Leave of absences, revisions, and transfers were also discussed. Director of School Management position transition. Dr. Valley discussed the transition plan for the Director of School Management plan. Minimum wage increase. Mr. Brian Bonanno discussed the New Jersey minimum wage increase to $15.49, which takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Interim Franklin High School principal. Dr. Valley discussed the interim Franklin High School principal transition plan. And the good of the order, Mr. Brian Bonanno and Dr. Jeremy Valley discussed confidential personnel items, and the meeting adjourned at 7:30 p.m.
Thank you. Any committee liaison reports?
Bottom line, I was at 2 Somerset County Ed Services Commission meetings to discuss the movement with buses and a number of negotiations with teachers for the county. Somerset County Ed Services serves the public schools in the county with, high-risk students. And so I'm on their board and on their executive board also. It's quite an operation over there. That's in Somerset. It's in Bridgewater.
Thank you. And now we're on to new business.
Great. So I'd like to move R1 monthly reports, M1 minutes of board meetings, A1 travel and related expense reimbursement, A2 affirm harassment, intimidation, and bullying decisions, A3 donation, A4 settlement agreements, A5 revised policies, second reading and adoption, A6 revised regulations adoption, A7 revised policy first reading, A8 facilities use, B1 warrants and payrolls, B2 financial reports, B3 contract approval, B4 change orders, B5 contract renewal, group medical and prescription drug benefits, C1 out of district 24-25 school year, C2 field trip destination, C3 field trip applications, C4 middle school math course sequencing change, C5 new courses, C6 course name change, C7 ESEA consolidated carryover, C8 New Jersey high impact tutoring competitive grant additional funding, C9 application for a Wallace Foundation grant, P1 employment contract, P2 salary allocations, P3 personnel report number 7 dated December 19th, 2024, P4 separation agreement.
Thank you. So there's a motion to approve R1, M1, A1 through A8, B1 to B5, C1 to C9, P1 to P4. Is there any discussion? Lori, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Bill? Dennis? Walter? Sammy? Okay. Brian, roll call, please.
Mr. Grippo? Yes. Dr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Ms. Maris?
Yes.
Mr. Shaban?
Yes.
Ms. Singh?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. So motion carries, and with that, I would like to welcome Kelly Guerrero as our interim school principal for Franklin High School.
Good evening. Ooh. I'm going to remove this, okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this grand opportunity. I have a very brief blurb to share. They say the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but I beg to differ. The grass is greener where you water it. Growth requires care, effort, and commitment. As I step into this new role, I'm excited to continue investing my energy into nurturing the continued growth and success of Franklin High School. Together, we can cultivate an environment where everyone thrives. I want to give a special thank you to the board, to cabinet members, to Dr. Solomon, who has continuously challenged me every step of the way, to my family for supporting me every step of the way as well, my father, my mom, who still guides me, even though she's not physically present anymore. And I promise you I will not let you down. Thank you, everyone.
Well, Mrs. Guerrero. Ms. Guerrero, sorry. Thank you for the correction. I just want to say we're incredibly proud of you as well. You only joined us a couple of years ago, and you have grown tremendously in the last couple of years. I think Dr. Solomon would attest to that. And it's because of your commitment and your dedication to not only yourself, but the school and the district, and more importantly, the students of the district, that we're happy to support you, and I don't want to say give you because you've earned it, this opportunity to really step into some really big shoes and continue to keep the ship afloat and heading in the right direction as we seek a permanent solution for what has now become the vacancy since Dr. Solomon has moved into Mr. Wilson's role as Mr. Wilson departs. So all the luck in the world. You know that we're going to continue to support you. And I know that this probably is, about a couple month opportunity, but I know there'll be other opportunities in the future, and I hope they're here because I think you have a very bright future. You're a strong leader, and you are going to make a difference, not only in this short period of time, but you're going to make a difference wherever you go for a longer period of time. So, and hopefully that's here. So, congratulations.
And with that, I would like to ask for a motion to open for comments from the public, 5 minutes per speaker, any topic. Moved by Dennis, seconded by Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, comments from the public are open. Please come to the podium, state your name and address, and you can make your comments.
Hi, good evening. My name is Chloe Alexander Jackson, 43 Victoria Drive.
If you're a minor, you don't have to state your address.
Evening. Good evening. My name is Chloe Alexander Jackson. I am a senior at Franklin High School, and this past June, I became an Arts Ed New Jersey student advocate representing the arts program at Franklin High School. Through this program, I have had the opportunity to work closely with 22 other student advocates, where we share our experiences and insight on the art programs at our respective schools. Our most recent project was to take a look into our own schools and find issues and things that need to be worked on in the arts program and bring them to the Board of Education. So I did just that. I took a look at the 65 different art classes available to all students at the high school, the numerous opportunities Franklin allows art students to have, the supportive Board of Education and superintendents that support our art programs, and provide us with the resources to be great. Yeah, that's a whole lot of issues, I thought to myself as I laughed out loud. So instead of bringing up issues today, me, along with Ms. Delasera, my dance teacher, and on behalf of those who unfortunately couldn't make it today, we want to give a special thank you to you all. The arts program at FHS are thriving because of the resources, opportunities, and support you guys provide to us on a yearly basis. So, to close out the 2024 year, the 65 art classes, along with the entire art program, want to thank you and can't wait for the 2025 year and years to come. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Lindsay Della Sera. I am one of the dance teachers at the high school, and I'm simply going to echo Chloe's sentiments. We want to thank you tonight. Just in the past month, I was reflecting on a student like Chloe and what she has participated in, and if you'll bear with me, she performed in the fall play in mid-November. She attended the Rutgers College Dance Experience field trip. She choreographed and performed in our student dance concert, our winter concert. Along with Chloe, the other choir students, they toured the elementary schools and sung for their madrigals tour. They had their winter choir concert. They auditioned for the spring musical Cinderella and attended a field trip with our media aspects program, all while trying to balance sports, home lives, and academics. So I am just so blessed. I was encouraging them to think about their busy schedules, to be very blessed and grateful that they have all of these opportunities. And we just wanted to thank you for your support and wish you a very happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Is it still on? Okay. I'm Wendy Riga. I am a co-president at Franklin High School for the PTSO and carrying the torch for Nick for the President Council, representing the parent groups of the district. So excited about that. This is Deb, co-president. I think you guys know us, but we just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Solomon because, yes, that's definitely... We know that we've tortured you a little bit. You have been outstanding. Executive Warriors Club, all of the things you do, helping us make coffee, all of these things that you do for us and for the children, we really appreciate it. We want to say thank you. Ms. Guerrero, welcome. Well, you guys are probably two of the best dressed at the high school, so I'm like thinking that this is going to be an easy transition. But we just wanted to say thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We're going to miss you. You did say you were not going too far. So thank you so much, Deb. I know I dragged you up here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's okay. I'm glad that we did. As Wendy mentioned, my name is Deb Frillo, president of the Franklin High School PTSO. I'm going to try not to do the tier thing, and I wrote a couple things down, which I'm not going to follow and read. But as Wendy said, we just want to say thank you. We've had the privilege of working alongside with you in a volunteer capacity. You've listened to our gripes, our bitching, like all of the things that, you know, most principals probably wouldn't have had the patience for because you know first and foremost, we're not just co-presidents, we're parents, we're volunteers, and we've seen you work tirelessly to ensure that our children are safe and happy and have felt seen. Like Wendy said, the leadership committees and all of the different ways that you've even called students out in the hallway by their name, corrected them when they're wrong when you hear a student cursing in the hallway when she shouldn't have been. I don't know where she would have gotten that from. With that being said, we're really excited that Ms. Guerrero will be serving as the interim. She's got big shoes to fill. We're confident that you'll do a good job because I see how she is with the senior class. With that being said, I do have a graduating senior and two rising ninth graders. So we just take this opportunity not only to say thank you, and we're going to miss you, and we're grateful that you're here, but we humbly ask the board, just moving forward, to consider any, applicants. One of the big things that provide security and safety for our children is the idea of continuity, the stability, the knowing that there's going to be a principal that's going to be there for the long haul. We've been blessed to have Dr. Solomon for almost 4 years, and I think that's been part of the success. We just want to make sure that whoever is chosen for the job is somebody that, will know the children by name, will, care to listen to parents, will treat everyone equally, will understand the culture and the unique creative beauty that is Franklin, our diversity, everything that we have to offer, and they will continue to move that forward, and that they will stay with us, that they're not just kind of coming into the high school as a stepping stone to go somewhere else, because that creates insecurity, and we do a good job at home trying to keep our children secure. So we want the next principal to make sure that they can do that they're committed to the long-term endeavor so that these children can move forward into life off of a really strong foundation. So with that said, we're going to really miss you. That's great. We got to hug you.
Thank you.
They're all dirty, so no.
Anyone else would like to address the board?
Seeing no one else to speak from the public, I move to close the public session.
Okay, motion to close by Bill, seconded by Sammy. All in favor? Okay, so we're almost to the end. Bear with us a couple more minutes. And now we're on to the last part of the meeting where we are at good of the order, and I will start from my left. Dennis, you have anything for good of the order?
Oh, yes, I do. 'Tis the season, number one. Tomorrow will be our last day before we go into winter session. So, time to reflect on the beginning of the school year. Give yourself a nice little holiday treat and reboot so you can finish up strong. I was proud just to watch all the two students and our intern principals step up and hearing all the accolades with Chloe and the dance folks. I guess since I've been on the board, one thing that gravitated me to become a board member is just to get the message out that month after month, I always say that the resources that Franklin District has to offer sometimes is not spoken loud enough. And and with the resources, and then with the teachers and the parents coming together, building a village, and just to hear these wonderful students shine from the resources that we have in the district is just, I can't say enough. Year after year, we have our seniors going to great places, be it college, trade, military. And I'm glad just to have moments like this so we could speak loud and shine. Oval, my man. Wow. Your last board meeting. And you will be missed. Like I said, you have, when I came on board, you helped guide me with the safety committee, and you will be missed. And I know that I may be missing something, but I'm going to pass the mic. But, everybody be safe. Let's have a great holiday season, and the class of 25, we waiting for you.
Orwell, why don't we have you stand up so we can give you a round of applause?
Just so you know, I clap in protest.
Lori.
I want to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday, and I want to especially wish Ms. Guerrero all the best in the upcoming school year. You have our complete confidence, and remember, we're all here to support you should you need anything at all. And I want to thank our students. I was truly inspired by both of your speeches. The information that you shared was truly spectacular. And I just want you to know how proud we are of you. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Chloe, for coming to talk to us about the arts program. We really take a great deal of joy in all of the arts that are presented to us as members of Franklin Township. We have the the benefit of being able to see the fruits of your labors. And we just want to thank you as well for all of those efforts. So happy holidays to all. Thank you.
Walter.
Just a few things. Once again, thank you to the absolutely amazing students that we have in Franklin. One thing I like about Franklin is we give our students an opportunity to utilize their voice, hence us having a volleyball team and just many different things because we see them. And as you can see tonight, we have some very absolutely amazing, talented students. I'm glad I got pictures with them, so when they blow up, remember me, I was a board member back in 2024. But kudos to you guys. Continue to do the work. Continue to be inspiration for your other fellow students, because I know you guys are truly doing that. So continue to keep up the great work. Sammy, thank you for your service on the board. You will truly, 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 truly be missed. A lot of folks really think this is an easy spot behind this desk, but it truly involves a lot of work and dedication. So once again, thank you for your service. And I know you won't be too far, but I appreciate you doing what you do and being a service to our district. Orville, you will truly, truly, truly be missed. If you guys stick around, he's going to play I Did It Orville's Way on the way out. I'm excited for your next journey. Enjoy it, relax, recoup. But once again, thank you for your many years of service to our district. Dr. Solomon, I know you have a good mentor. I know you're ready and excited about the opportunity that's in front of you. So we're once again here to continue to support you. Ms. Guerrero, congratulations again for stepping up and filling in that gap when we needed you to. And as always, I have a quote. When you choose joy, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, it reminds others of what joy feels like. And it just might inspire them to do the same. Franklin Township is an absolutely joyful district, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. Happy holidays to my fellow board members, the cabinet members, and everybody who's watching and listening. And be safe and enjoy your holiday season. Thank you.
Mr. Grippo, you have 30 seconds.
So I'm going to keep my remarks to Ava Dosh. The board president made a nice presentation about Ava. You mentioned the arts program, Chloe. The champion of the arts program in Franklin Township Public Schools was Ava Dosh. For those of you who were here, she was a pioneer for what we have at Franklin High School now, with Betty and Jim Demonic, Tim, and right into generational. She fought for all of this stuff, the music programs. I go back with her to the early 80s when she said to me, like you did, Lori, how do you start? I said, get on the PTO, run for the board. And she ran for the board and took a prominent role in leadership. Now, in leadership, students, you are not always popular. And once in a while, Ava rubbed sticks together. But she did things for this district that today we benefit. Franklin Park School, Franklin High School, the renovation of the district. She hired and worked through 4 superintendents. I did 9, but she did 4, and one of them sitting up here. On January 4th, there'll be a community memorial. I don't know how that's being advertised. It's at the Somerset Presbyterian Church. I don't know, you may see it on Facebook, but I know that on January 20th, we're having our annual MLK breakfast. This year will be very big. Bonnie Watson Coleman is the speaker. It's at the DoubleTree. It's also Inauguration Day, but we decided to have the breakfast, and we're going to celebrate the legacy of MLK. So what does that have to do with Ava Naj? She founded the breakfast 20-something years ago, 25, 26 years ago, at the middle school. The Hamilton Street Middle School was the high school. And at that breakfast will be Superintendent Frank Pepe, a co-founder of the breakfast, and former Chief of Police, Dan Levac. And the three of them really pioneered that breakfast, which has raised thousands and thousands of dollars for you guys, for scholarships. So I like to put things in perspective, that she truly was a Franklin warrior hero. Truly was. So that I could say that because I witnessed it. I did events with that lady that I can't even go over. She didn't always like what I did, but yeah, that's what are you going to do? But we had a great time. We got a lot done. So God bless her, and you guys have a great, and you students are, Chloe, every time you are on that stage, I remember Ava Naj standing in that auditorium when they had no seats in it. Nothing. The place was a shell. And she's telling people what color curtains, what color thing. Superintendents used to say, oh my God, that's what I'm supposed to do. She would just take over. I mean, she was just an amazing person. And I stood there with my daughter Mariah once, and I said, someday you'll be on that stage. She was in elementary school, whatever it was. The pace of the leader is the pace of the group. That's my quote, Walter. The pace of the leader is the pace of the group. We're fortunate in Franklin. We have a superintendent who's a great leader. And I'm very thankful for Ava Naj. Thank you.
Sammy, you have the floor now.
Great. Yeah, I just want to reiterate a lot of the stuff that's been said. Props to my neighbors. Give them one more round of applause. I mean, the contributions that you guys have made. Great job, Gia, with your presentation, and then also getting it to Penn, nice Ivy League university, and then Maya. That was really great. I mean, you have a legacy with volleyball now, right? You can always look back and say that you had your fingerprints on Franklin. Young man, I mean, it's not often that we have a student come here and like teach us something. Like we actually learned something from you. I was sitting attentively, not only because of your ability to understand the science, but to explain it in a very simple way. Much like you were saying, the gentleman at the museum had done that. I think you're also an example of that. So congratulations and great job. Dr. Solomon, I know you're going to fill these great shoes. You started doing it already, and I know the sadness of leaving the high school, but you're now doing a district-wide responsibility, and we're really, happy. Mr. Wilson, nobody will be able to adequately ever fill your shoes just yet. I know Dr. Solomon will grow into that, but it'll probably take a long time. You grew in so many ways and did so much for our district that probably most people here don't even understand all the different facets you were covering for the district. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and for all you've taught me personally and what you've done for our district. Ms. Guerrero, you're going to do amazing as our interim principal and holding it down. So we're really looking forward to your awesome leadership. Thank you so much. And, as my final board meeting, I'm just very grateful to my fellow board members. I see what other towns look like and how they sort of handle a lot of these things, and our board is nothing like that. Our board is very cohesive, and we get a lot of stuff done because of that. The 3 years that I've been on, I feel really proud of the work that we've done. We have a banner behind us that we're one of the best high schools, and a designation that I think was one of the first in our history. We opened up a medical center for our teachers. We had one of the highest raises in teacher salary in our history, I think like 8.5%. super proud of that. We have a medical center coming for our students in the coming months. We've done a lot to do work in terms of equity, with more of our students of color taking advanced placement classes more than they ever have, and being elevated to so many distinctions. So really proud of a lot of the work that we've been able to accomplish as a board. It's sad to go, but I'm sure you guys will keep going. I think Nick is here. I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job. He brings a lot of passion and drive to this, so really looking forward to that work. And Dr. Ravalli is an amazing superintendent. So round of applause for him. My only leaving request is that the work that we started with FISC, the Food Insecurity and Safety Coalition, where the Board of Education has been a huge part of doing that work. And FISC has a very simple mission: to end food insecurity in Franklin permanently. And so the district is a part of that. And we are making huge moves. I would only request that somebody take on that mantle on the Board of Education and keep moving that forward for our district and keep moving it forward for our entire town. Thank you so much, all.
Okay, my turn. So first of all, I want to give a message from Nancy, who's not here today because of her knee surgery. She wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And then she was talking to me, we were talking about Eva Naj, Bill, and she said Eva used to say one thing when she used to go to the board meetings, and she used to say to all the women on the board, Lori, that's very interesting, that always have your lipstick on, because you never know where you go, where you are. And I know that we don't have, as board members, we have no decision-making power when we step out from here, but the community sees us as a board person. So we should always be prepared for that. That was very interesting. So she's like, you can share that story from the platform. But I want to begin by saying, start with the same thing. Ms. Guerrero, we're very excited to have you take on this role. Mr. Solomon, I should say Dr. Solomon. Dr. Solomon, very excited that you'll be filling the shoes of your mentor. And I'm sure he's prepared you well. And, we know that the Solomon family always does great things in Franklin. So, we're there with you all along the way. And to my dear students, my own children have come through Franklin, and I am so proud of you. My head goes even higher when I see you present and see you talk. It just fills me with so much pleasure. Chloe, Gia, Maya, I've seen you grow in front of my eyes. It's just an incredible feeling. So I want to end with saying that as the year draws to a close, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation to our staff and administration for your dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to our schools and students. Your efforts have made a profound impact on our community, and we are truly grateful for your service. And I write this down because I don't want to make a mistake when I'm saying things out verbally. Wishing you and your loved ones a joyful holiday season filled with peace, happiness, and well-deserved rest. May the new year bring continued success, good health, and opportunities to make a positive difference. To my fellow board members, it's been an incredible year serving as your president and as your voice from this platform. I am humbled for this opportunity you gave me and the trust you gave me in 2024. I want to share a quote from a keynote speaker friend, that you are somebody, you matter, and you are enough. It rang true to its words this year for me. Going forward into 2025, I welcome Nick DeMeglio on the board, and I'm sad to see Sammy leave, but you're all here as members of our community. I want to follow this quote in 2025. The boldest adventure is a journey inward, where the whispers of the heart become the roar of transformation. I am onto my inward journey, roaring to continue to do the right thing, with the right intentions for our students, our staff, our community. See you all on Tuesday, January 7th for our reorg meeting, and our 2024 meeting is now adjourned.